Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. And if you follow this channel for any length of time, you know that I follow all the activities and anything that has to do with 𝗗𝗲𝗃, the creator, the money man behind the D-Wave quantum computer. And what you're looking at is a video I put up about 5 months ago, and I was explaining that 𝗗𝗲𝗃 also has another company going called Kindred. And I showed all the stuff that was happening with Kindred. I even showed some of the things where he was quoted as saying numerous times, not just once, that a robot takeover was coming. I also showed where 𝗗𝗲𝗃 was literally outfitting monkeys in exoskeleton suits and having them train armies of AI robots. Now, that's not what I was saying. That's what their website says. That's the news that they were putting out. And unfortunately, it didn't garner very much interest. We've also gone over ad nauseum, myself and several other channels, of all the built-in warnings in the HBO show Westworld, where they show the machines becoming lifelike. They're built lifelike. For instance, this woman right here is actually, according to the program, she's a robot that is built to be a prostitute, and people can pay money to go here, so forth and so on. And we were explaining that Westworld was a method for the elites, the pathetic little parasites that are currently in charge of this human realm that we find ourselves in. Were explaining to us exactly what their ideas and what their plans were. And it turns out I wasn't too far off, because here's 𝗗𝗲𝗃, the money man behind the D-Wave quantum computer, explaining and drawing parallels exactly like I did today.
All right, so if you're a fan of Westworld, you might be thinking about a robot takeover. One company is maybe not thinking about a Westworld type of robot takeover, but is certainly thinking of ways to make robots a bigger part of life. Kindred is a Vancouver-based artificial intelligence company that's teaching robots to be more like people. And 𝗗𝗲𝗃, co-founder and CEO of Kindred, joins us now with more details. 𝗗𝗲𝗃, thanks so much for joining us. Give us a sense of the work that you're doing at Kindred with AI, with robots, and I guess how close am I to being replaced?
Well, the objective of the company is to try to understand.
Just real quick, take note that the green screen behind him is showing him sitting directly in front of what looks exactly like the Denver airport Kevlar rooftop that I recently got video of. But I digress. Let's listen to 𝗗𝗲𝗃 explain how he plans on very soon replacing humanity with killer artificially intelligent robots.
What goes on inside a human mind. And it's one of the greatest mysteries that faces science and technology today. And we believe that if we can deconstruct what goes on inside the human mind, it will be one of the most important achievements in the history of humanity. Everything that people do comes from it, and it's still largely a mystery how it works. Kindred was set up to try to answer that question.
𝗗𝗲𝗃, you folks are notoriously secretive about what it is you've accomplished and how far you're going and where you're intending to go. How do you compete in the marketplace with that level of secrecy overlaying everything you're doing?
Well, we're not all that secretive when we approach people that we want to participate in the project. We're pretty open about what we're trying to do and how. The secrecy usually comes when it's about broader transmission of the ideas. We take the approach of being very open with the types of people we want to hire and the types of people we want to do business with, and maintaining that channel fully. But we don't do a lot of press Our areas of artificial intelligence, especially the kinds of things that we're trying to do, which is to go after the original objective of AI, which is to understand how animal minds work and human minds as a kind of animal mind. It's a subject.
Did you catch that? How animal minds work, and then he cleans it up by saying that human minds, which are, kind of an animal mind. This person right here, you can look at him and see that he has been possessed by a demonic spirit. Everything these guys have, everything they are doing is bad for humanity in every single solitary possible way. I have to say I was probably the first channel to show Kindred on YouTube well over a year ago, and they're absolutely right. Everything about Kindred is entirely secret. Nothing good is done under the cover of darkness. Just FYI. In this video from October 19th, 2016, I showed you this entire thing, and this was literally before anyone else came up with it. And the reason behind that is because it's incredibly secretive. This guy not only looks the part, look at his soulless eyes. Look at everything that these people are pushing for. This has been going on for a long time, and if it's coming out in the media right now, you know that it's complete. They're ready.
That you have to approach with some delicacy, because it's extremely complex and it touches on basically everybody on the planet's life at some point. And how this whole thing will unfold is unclear, and we want to make sure that we understand things pretty deeply before we say anything publicly about what we're working on. It's still very early.
So on one hand, you have one billionaire warning us that AI is going to get out of hand. He's been warning us for years, and then he flips over and tells everybody everything's fine. This is on Japanese television.
AI is a fundamental existential risk for human civilization, and I don't think people fully appreciate that.
This was only a week ago that this was recorded, but it was not played in the States.
On the artificial intelligence front, I have exposure to the very most cutting-edge AI, and I think people should be really concerned about it. I keep sounding the alarm bell, but until people see robots going down the street killing people, they don't know how to react. It's going down the street killing people, they don't know how to react.
This was 1 week ago.
Because it seems so ethereal. AI is a rare case where I think we need to be proactive in regulation instead of reactive. Because I think by the time we are reactive in AI regulation, it's too late.
Now, this is on one hand. And then on the other hand, you have the secretive Geordie Rose, who's already given the world a high-speed internet connection to other dimensional beings that we're not supposed to be contacting as a human species.
It's extremely complex, and it touches on basically everybody on the planet's life at some point.
It's going down the street killing people, they don't know how to react.
It's extremely complex, and it touches on basically everybody on the planet's life at some point.
These are their words, not mine. These are their words, but they are ringing true to what we've been trying to warn you about for several years now. This stuff is coming no matter what. It doesn't matter. And I have to think that if they're talking about it, it's been finished. It's already done.
And how this whole thing will unfold is unclear. And we want to make sure that we understand things pretty deeply before we say anything publicly about what we're working on. It's still very early.
Geordie, I believe you've completed nearly 100 robots. The first commercial service your intelligent robots will be in use for is e-commerce fulfillment centers, I believe. A lot of people thinking about the use of robots in Amazon fulfillment centers. Maybe you can talk about the opportunities you see ahead for the use cases and what you've been doing so far on that front.
Robots, as they are construed now, are physically able of they're physically capable of doing a lot of things beyond what they're being used for. The thing that's
robots going down the street killing people, they don't know how to react, because it seems so ethereal. AI is a rare case where I think we need to be proactive in regulation instead of reactive.
And for those that want to blame this message on editing, I'll leave links so you can listen to both of these in their entirety. All of this. Warning us. And he's basically warning us and they've already completed 100, which means they've already completed 10,000. This is the time. By the time these are loosed, and as Geordie Rose was just quoted as saying, these will affect every human on the planet, it's going to be too late. Strap on the full armor of God. Call it fair porn, call it whatever you want, but it's actually just the news in the world that we live in right now. Richie from Boston, I'm out.